Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. My life and forever heart, children, God, and that's you, and that's you, and that's me, and that's me. I hope all will be. Now we should know. I just wanted to give a quick encouragement or a heads up, depending on how what is up against you. I know yesterday we were leaving, we were in the truck, and the person that's technically out of the house now that's set up was able to set up with the rapist murderer cops in Monroe County, Michigan, followed us out. And then there was also what I call them the slam-a-jammers they send out. They don't do them as often as they used to, but they'll maybe send out like I call them like a half semi or something hauling an old car, you know, the ones they stack the cars up on, but sometimes it's a shorter rig. And the neighbor in his truck followed us. Not like a full 10 miles, but I don't know the amount of miles from LaSalle to downtown. We weren't quite to downtown limit, to the, where you get to the downtown, but so between the time that he, I'm not saying he set up the slam-a-jammer, but he was staying with the semi. The only reason I'm telling the story, and I can't prove it to you, we at least got a video of the type of rig that was crammed up our butthole with him nearby while this event was going on for, several miles. And I know that people don't agree with how we handle things, but we usually get out of the lane, and then when they won't, they keep following us, going behind us. When we switch lanes, then we'll usually, it just depends on what's going on. But since he was involved, the one that has the restraining order on us, or on me, and what else do I want to share? Meaning that this warning is, let's not call it a warning, just have a heads up. This full moon, satanic activity is at an all-time high. It will continue to be so between here and Easter and the next full moon, and probably after that. However, for some reason, and I'm not sure what has lined up wherever, specifically in the spirit realms, but if a guy was able to set up to almost have me killed here, and then since I wasn't dead, then they proceeded to drug me and do all these things that I've never even described on the station here, at the station, to me. You just really need to have a heads up, depending on what kind of group you have after you, what kind of evil foes you have after you. Just be a little more aware. I'm not saying lock yourself up in the shed or hide in the basement on a beautiful sunny day, but if some lunatic has been able to get away with this, and is continuing to stalk us, he actually has sent other people out. I think the one was upwards of over an hour drive one way, sent out some old cronies. The sad part is because I've been here so long, and the family did have businesses. Anyone that didn't move out of the county, I would have known the original families, probably 3/4 of the town. I don't mean like know them, like go to dinner, but familiarity, faces, even their offspring. So you'd be shocked. Stuff can be multi-generational. Like the older sibling brother, who I don't speak too fondly of because he was actually one of my biggest nemesis, is in hiding and secret. He had a lot of people with vendettas on him. And you'd be shocked, even if you've turned your life around or you feel you're not walking the same path as your family or wherever you came from, your origins, you'd be shocked at how ignorant and pathetic people are, that they will have a vendetta on you, and you're maybe not even associated with the group that you once were associated with, and you'll still have people after you. You could have people after you that were after one of your parents. That's how sick people are. They'll even send their kids on the kids' generation. So the peers or the kids of that group, then they just follow it into the next generation. So you're looking at 2 or 3 generations, almost 2 decades. So if the older sibling was 7, 8 years older than me, and he loved to snoop. I mean, he had like some of the earliest radios. He knew what was going on probably all corners of the United States just from his illegal radios. And do you realize that because he did stuff like that, that could fall on me? Like, do I have the radios? And the other thing is he was a gun hoarder. I don't do any of the above. Never popped pills, couldn't stand them. Not out seeking pills. Good God, the window of period of time where I was the most broken and just harassed on all sides, could not keep the kids safe. Well, the CPS, the government, I mean, that was when I learned between my child's 2nd to 4th birthday how putridly disgusting Michigan was in the sense of protecting predators. Whew, man, you talk about some high-end panic attacks started to set in, which would have affected my kid. But this is really just a pre-Easter warning. He technically legally got his way, but apparently because they didn't just lock me in prison and throw away the key, he's still going to pursue us. He'll still send people to pursue us. After this incident with the Slam-A-Jam and him stalking us while this was some sort of funny joke, while we were going to get the water that he poisoned and disrupted the flow. So it shows he has like a little bit of conscience. Because after they poisoned it, he had that witch that he hired. Then he knew, because he had already told me that the wells were connected. And so he chose to semi-flood his own yard last year. Around Easter, by the way. All Easter. Always around Easter is our worst time. And I don't know why, because when you think about it, I mean, that is when the Satanists acknowledge, but that is when we acknowledge Jesus' walk on the earth, his life, death, and resurrection for us, for people like also the psychopaths still after us, who then, therefore, the police would be psychopaths and the judges. So if they can let people do this, right? So then after this Slam-A-Jam session, and then nobody hit us. What I'm saying is something I always know now, because we've had such close, horrible things that weren't just accidental bad drivers. Those happen too. But that's not, you can't particularly say that's whatever. And Michigan has one of the highest levels of worst drivers, especially Southeast Michigan. Worst drivers probably on the planet, quite frankly. So we can't always base like Slam-A-Jams or stupid drivers for very specific, causing us havoc. But we have had that too. And they have put my husband in the ditch. And he's seen angels work miracles. And, even when angels work miracles where we are left mostly unscathed or able to recover, that can still shake a person up. We still have the joy or thankfulness or appreciation and honor or like homage to God for sparing us or leaving us somewhat unscathed or quick healing or whatnot. And even if we are left with injuries, maybe we're still can function to some degree. This was once again too long to say. I just really felt it was important to say, still have fun, enjoy the sun, just be a little aware. Sometimes when we get out in the sun and it's just feeling so beautiful, those have been some of my worst assaults, is actually when it was maybe one of the first most beautiful days of the year. So that it's just the fine art of trying to learn how to enjoy yourself with what God has given you, but also be aware of when it's safe and not safe. Okay, so I keep messing up here. So, and not that this is coordinated, but after we stood our ground with the tow guy, and Al knew that we knew, 2 county and 1 state just kind of doing their stalking thing. But there again, it could have just been coincidental, right? Because that's how they like to make it look too. So what they do is on John's days off is when we get really, really slammed. We can prep and pray all week, and maybe it does go better when we're together, or maybe it would even be worse. But it really it can come from any which angle. It's not necessarily the same method. Usually, in our spirits, we just know, to just maybe reroute, or maybe the specific thing we did have planned, maybe we need to change it or whatever. But I gotta go. You guys have a great day. Just be aware, have fun, get some sun. It's a little chilly still here. I want to think the way it's looking, it's gonna warm up today. We did get the pool set up so that we can aerate one side of it, and I will be coming up with methods of some removal, and we have some other just garden areas that I wouldn't be putting food. And quite frankly, the last locations, one time I had a new peach tree, the last one of my last attempts. The other, and not that that matters now, but we get chemically attacked too. So say the one day I had a small tree of peach, it just packed with peaches. Nearly by the next day, they were all rotted. That's not normal, and that's the life that we live. So that would have been 4 or 5 years ago, and it just continued to get worse from there. So we get a lot of scorchings, major scorchings on the grass. We don't spray pesticides, so it's not that. If we do use any kind of, reducing like reducing of major pests on plant life, we will, I use neem oil, and you dilute it. You still have to know how to use it though, because you can scorch your plants, and you don't want to scorch them with the neem oil. And it is very potent, so you need to know what you're doing. And I'm just recommending that as a fellow citizen. You don't have to go spray Roundup. You might have to have a little more patience with neem oil, and there's actually other natural alternatives. But I find, because people do use a lot of pesticides, and then those pests will migrate towards properties that don't use pesticides, that neem oil can help kind of balance some stuff out. So, but it's not perfect. And love you. Bye.